More than 4.5 million people who fled Russia's war in Ukraine have sought refuge in the European Union, around a quarter of them in neighboring Poland. Most Ukrainians receive a warm welcome. They are offered blanket access to temporary residence permits so they can work and receive social benefits. But so many women and children seeking to build new lives in trying circumstances also creates opportunities for sexual and labor exploitation. Special correspondent Rosie Burchard reports from Poland.
Packing up for the long ride to Ukraine has become a ritual for Elżbieta Jarmulska. For months, the Polish entrepreneur has been rallying women volunteers who drive to the border and beyond to pick up female Ukrainian refugees and their children. They hope to offer a few hours of protection in the comfort of another woman's car so new arrivals can avoid relying on male strangers.
I personally heard stories about the drivers wanting sexual favors from women for the drive, obviously telling them first it's for free. When it comes to accommodation, there are also a lot of stories we heard, even abuse in terms of slavery work, so working super hard for accommodation and being abused mentally.
Olga Fomina and Ala Havronska, who both fled Dnipro in southeast Ukraine alone, are waiting for Elżbieta at this border town train station. Amid all the distress of displacement, they're grateful for the ride to Warsaw.
Yesterday I was walking around Dnipro, looking at all the monuments. I felt that it could be my last time because I don't know if I'll see them again. It was so painful.
It's misery like this that can offer fertile ground for human traffickers and criminals seeking to profit from desperation, especially when most of those escaping are women and children. Police quickly realised the risks.
We have adopted a zero-tolerance policy. We've sent a lot of uniformed police officers to the border. They even traveled by trains with refugees so they could feel safe moving further into Poland. We've also sent plainclothes officers to monitor the situation, and we used cameras and other gadgets to track the license plates of the cars coming to pick up refugees.
Around 7 million people have crossed from Ukraine into Poland since the day of the invasion last February.
Here at the Polish-Ukrainian border, signs remind refugees to keep safety in mind. They say most people have good intentions, but some may wish to exploit vulnerabilities. For many, making it here onto EU and NATO soil is a sigh of relief. But for some, the road ahead brings new risks.
As millions of Ukrainians settle into life across Europe, an unsettling trend lingers beneath the surface. Web searches for Ukrainian refugee porn surged in the first half of this year. Regina, who asked us to use her first name only, is not surprised. She received an online offer of rent-free accommodation in exchange for housework and sex with the host, and says she feels the fear and discomfort of objectification in daily life.
Even in Facebook, in normal communication with Polish men, often dialogue starts with some parts of my body, for example, or asked if I like to swim without clothes. I think that only in Ukraine, with Ukrainian girls, the situation can be, because we are afraid many things in this country. We don't know our rights.
It was finding fair employment which proved tricky for Tatiana. For months, she worked undocumented as a cleaner and had most of her wages withheld. With little in the way of local language skills, she felt especially exposed.
Week after week, month after month, I was waiting for payment, but they paid me just a small part of what I was owed. In the end, it was all empty promises. The company thinks they can fool us because we are Ukrainians.
We asked Tatiana's former employer for comment, but received no reply. The Polish government, like the rest of the European Union, offers all Ukrainians fleeing war access to work and residence permits for up to 3 years. But despite its best efforts to protect refugees through one-off support payments, free hotlines and job search support, A lack of local knowledge and language barriers can leave some slipping through the net. That's a global phenomenon. Migrants are 3 times more likely to be trapped in exploitative working conditions, often hidden in sectors like agriculture, construction or manufacturing. In Poland, thousands of manual jobs were once filled by Ukrainian men who lived in the country but have now left to fight for their homeland. Now, migrants from across the world are filling those jobs, finding themselves newly vulnerable to exploitation. EU Home Affairs Commissioner Ylva Johansson is tasked with tackling trafficking and organised crime across Europe. She's made it her mission to turn things around.
We are looking into setting up a special expert group of prosecutors that are specialized into these specific crimes to have more people convicted. I'm also looking into whether we should strengthen the sanctions directive on how employers, their responsibility for their employers to make sure that they do not use or exploit people on the labor market.
Yes, 600 square meters.
Back in Poland, Elżbieta hopes to offer refugees more than just a ride in future. She's busy building a shelter for up to 80 Ukrainians near Warsaw.
This place is just dedicated to women and their children, so they can, have the safety bubble and be in it for a while.
For now, this aspiring sanctuary faces mounting costs and remains under construction. Like the dreams of so many Ukrainians who hoped they'd never have to leave home behind at all. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Rosie Burchard in Przemyśl by the Polish-Ukrainian border.